These last few days have been trying for everybody. They've been challenging for us here in the Darby household as we've tried to acclimate to what appears to be, at least for the foreseeable future, the new norm around here of two adults working from home, trying to maintain a semblance of a work situation and still be able to educate and care for our little ones. And we are doing just what you all are doing, trying to figure out what this new norm looks like, how to make the best of it, and how to get through this with as much forward progress and positivity as we possibly can. It got me thinking a little bit about some of the things that I just wanted to share with you. And right now it's so easy to focus on the negatives. It's something that comes very easily for me. It's something that probably comes very easily for you. And I find myself, if I'm not real careful, if I'm not really focused on being intentionally positive, that it's easy to fall into the negatives. It's easy to feel the frustrations. It's easy to feel the disappointments and the things that I've planned, the things on my calendar, the events that I'm supposed to be doing, the things I'm supposed to be doing at work, and the fun activities that I'm missing out on. I can very much fall into that, and I know it's easy for a lot of you as well. And so one of the things that I've been really trying to do is to be intentional in choosing to see the positive, connecting with people as best I can in the time that I have that are gonna breathe positive ideas to me. When I do find a moment to get on social media or to return emails, I find myself wanting to look for those that have a positive message, that have some kind of an uplifting thought to them. And one of the things that helps me so much is when I get into these kind of dismal cycles where it's easy to see the darkness around me, is I go back to an old song, Count Your Many Blessings. And I find that oftentimes a few moments of just reflecting on the blessings I have can really be a very helpful thing for me. The second thing that I really try to do, and I've worked a little bit of late, and I need to do better with, to be honest, but that's the idea of recognizing that I can't determine my circumstances often. I'm not in control of as nearly as much as I think I am or would like to be. And I can't control necessarily what happens to me, but I can control my reactions to them. And I can choose to make the best of situations that come in contact, that I experience in life. And I got to thinking about that. I've had a lot of people that I think a lot about, that I think of highly, that have talked about this idea of make the best of it. Find this as a time to reconnect with family, to experience a rhythm of life that's different, to slow down, to really consider what's most important in life. And it's interesting to me how many people I hear that are not believers that have this mentality and are sharing this kind of idea. And it just takes me back to the unmistakable fingerprint that God has on each and every one of us, at least as I see it and I believe, and that is that God made us a little bit like Him. And one of God's characteristics is that God is always in the business of making the best of any situation that we come across. Robert Frost, my favorite author, poet, he said the best way out of hardship is through hardship. The best way out of hardship is through it. You can't really go around it. You've got to go through it. And while you're going through it, why not make the best of it? That's exactly what God does. In Romans 8:28, you've heard me many times say that one of our family phrases is that God's going to 828 this. And I can't tell you how many times in the last week we've used that around the house. God's going to 828 this. God is going to bring about good even from this bad situation, because He loves us and because He's powerful and He's majestic. And so I've been looking for ways that I see God at work bringing about good in a hard situation. I'm looking for more ways that I can make my situation good, even though it may not necessarily be the way I would have drawn it up and what I would like to do. And so I encourage you with those things. One, count your blessings. Be positive, intentionally be positive. And two, look for ways that you can 828 your circumstance and your situation, knowing that God is working things together for good. Come alongside Him and partner with Him in trying to make the very best of what is a very challenging and difficult situation. I tell you a funny story I heard yesterday. My wife, of course, in the business that she's in and working with people that are experiencing homelessness. You can only imagine how difficult this is right now, and it's a tragic situation that so many experiencing homelessness are now on top of their normal challenges have this going on as well. Well, one of the things that's going on with her business, the same as is going on in your houses, is that it's really hard to find basic things. Sanitizer, hand sanitizer, disinfectant, spray cleaners, these kind of things are becoming very difficult. Well, the story goes a little bit like this. There is a local liquor distributor here in town that had sold crates and crates and crates and crates of vodka in anticipation of a very raucous St. Patrick's Day celebration in all these bars. You may have noticed the governor got on the other day and said to all these bars, we're going to close you down, and so if you bought extra supplies, you can sell them back to the distributors at no penalty and get your money back. And so distributors now are dealing with an enormous stockpile of liquor that has been sold and returned. Well, they discovered that vodka is actually has a lot of the component parts to make hand sanitizer and spray disinfectant. And so a local vodka distributor is actually has actually bottled up almost 1 million bottles of either hand sanitizer or spray disinfectant out of their vodka. And they're taking what was a really bad situation for them, this prospect of losing millions of dollars in revenue in vodka that's not being used, and turned it into something great. And I thought, what a funny example that is of exactly the kind of thing that we can do. Yes, this is a hard time, but look for ways that you can make something good out of the difficulty that you're facing. I'll leave you with this passage of Scripture that I find myself reflecting on with some regularity of late. And this is from Jesus talking to his apostles in John, the 16th chapter. And this is the end of the 33rd verse. And he says, in this world you will have tribulation. In this world you're going to have trouble. There's going to be challenges. There's going to be hardship. But notice how he ends this. But take heart. Be encouraged. Be brave. Be courageous. Why? Because I've overcome the world, he says. You know what? I just want to encourage you today. Look for positives. Count your blessings. Be intentional in finding ways to bring good out of even the difficult situation that we're in. And never, ever, ever forget that even in these difficult times, Christ promises, fear not, I'm with you. And I've overcome whatever hardship you're facing at this time. I hope you have a great day. I'll be thinking of you and speaking with you virtually until we can be back together again. God bless you.